My name is Ernest Kivumbi Benjamin. Welcome to this biography that I'm trying to give the rest of the people who don't know me around the world. I was born on 14th May 1989 on the Kampala. I've lived in this city from different perspectives and definitions of whoever has seen me, that I've gone to school with, and to the level that I have been able to reach on in politics, in academic, in talent, in so many other spheres of life. But before we go into the general part of this biography, I would like to let you know about the dream that I have. Having a dream to unite Africa into the United States of Africa in the shortest time possible. I have been in politics. I have been so active in the struggles of Kampala and Uganda. First as a very active member of Conservative Party when I was at the law school at Law Development Center. I contested for guild president at the law school. By that time, I was being the special aide to Honorable John Kendo Chams, the man, and today is the president of Conservative Party and has been the member of parliament for Lubaga South up to that day. I just realized that along the way I would not be in position to get the ticket of Conservative Party or the IPC in the inter-party coalition to enable me get the dream that I wanted to be the member of parliament, Kampala Central. That was before 2011. So I crossed over to deputy spokesman. Dr. Abed Wanika is the president of this party and I stood before as a president of Uganda 2 times consecutively, and in that case, having seen me on radio talk shows, he had a peak of interest in me, and the party welcomed me and appointed me as the interim national coordinator of People's Development Party (PDP). We went for the delegates conference, and I was elected as the deputy spokesman of People's Development Party. In that case, therefore, I ran on consecutively to where I am today. While I was doing that, running for the member of parliament Kampala Central in 2011, I proved once more as one of the youngest candidates. I remember having had interviews on popular international radios and televisions, including Al Jazeera, including the BBC, including DW. We were hosting a 21-year-old young man at that time who was running for Kampala Central member of parliament. It was evident that my dreams have come true, and while I have not reached where I'm supposed to be, but at least I've proved once more in the history of this nation, and even for my future political ambition that I can. I had a meeting with the head of state, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, His Excellency, and the President of Uganda, who was presided over this nation for close to 30 years. In a meeting with him in State House on 11th January, I shared with him about my dream and inspirations to unite the African nations to be the United States of Africa. This has been a dream that our predecessors before had, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Namudi Azikiwe, Ahmed Ben Bella, and the rest of those African nationalists that had, and the current person who had. But unfortunately he's dead now, right in the deserts of Benghazi. That is Colonel Muammar al-Bin Gaddafi. Rest in peace. I'm writing a book about him called Assassination of the Icon, Dreams from My Father, Colonel Muammar al-Bin Gaddafi. Why? He's known to my biological father, but I'm deriving it from the scriptures where Jesus said that my mom and my dad are the ones who hear my words and they can perceive them, they can do what I say. Indeed, Colonel Muammar al-Bin Gaddafi he's been key in the political arena of the continent, whereby he's been spearheading this dream. So when Benghazi fell and Tripoli fell on the tragic day when America and her allies, including France, Britain, and the rest of those superpowers, invaded the independence of the Virgin Land in Africa, Libya, and took over, killed Muammar Gaddafi, who had the dream to unite Africa. General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni took over this dream. And as a visionary young man who sees the possibility of this dream coming into reality, especially with working closely, very much closely with the person who took over now, I see him as the Lion of Africa. I see him as so committed and very, very powerful in the political arena of this continent. His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has proved himself, most especially when he has handled more diligently and intellectually the affairs of the African continent, including the conflicts that we've had. We've had Ugandan troops going to Liberia. We've had Ugandan troops going to Democratic Republic of Congo. We've had the UPDF joining in the Amazon troops to bring peace to the Horn of Africa, Somalia, Mogadishu. We have seen our troops are moving all over. He has been very key, especially Kampala, in trying to negotiate a peace deal between the M23 rebels and the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo for a war that has killed more than 8 million people, something that is so much won't be forgotten in the history of the world for humanitarian cause, especially at the end of the Second World War, losing such a big number of people in a very vast, wealthiest nation on the face of the earth. Yes, the most poorest nation that are having came into a lot of about 15 trillion US dollar. And then in terms of the wealth that this country has, something slightly bigger than 1 trillion of the GDP of the United States of America. So him being such a very important factor, having been successfully to host CHOGM in 2007. I talk about the many African conventions and summits that have been hosted here, is widely respected and very much valued. The people are right here in this country may not realize how powerful or how important President Kaguta Museveni is on this very aspect. And what I want to say that my association with him is quite very important, and I would think that one day I would drive into his footsteps by taking over the Dream to Unite African Nation. And as a young man, Kivumbi Ernest Benjamin, I still believe there's a lot much more that we can tackle, especially the challenges that our continent is facing. The young people are the most vulnerable in this aspect. 80% of the African population is young people. Why is it that they're marginalized? We're having a problem of unemployment and poverty on the continent, and the only way we can be in position to rectify the mistakes that we have done is to involve young people in this way, so that they can take over leadership, no matter big or small. They can be pioneered into the economic bit of it by being empowered economically, so they can live a life of sustainability. And I believe that as a young man, I should be in position to spearhead this change. I've proved this in my struggles for all this time, involving myself in the most famous demonstrations of black in Kampala. We've been behind bars, we've been in jail, we've been in so many things that we have tried to prove and start the test of time in this aspect. So all I want to emphasize on is very, very important, that the dream to unite Africa is much more clearer, it is much more important, much more vital, much more it can be reclaimed, it's irresistible, it's unstoppable, and we can achieve this when in our hands to solve the challenges we are facing as a nation. Well, I really promised you to give you my background. Medically, I began school, I think, in 1994 when way back, and I had to skip one class, began in the kindergarten, and then when I reached primary, I was studying at Linda Massey Primary School. I had to I sat for my primary living examination when I was in primary 5 because my teachers saw me bright at that time, and indeed I proved it. I passed those exams even when I was in primary 5. I joined DK Hill Secondary School, and while in that school I began with positions of being a timekeeper to being a head prefect, and then I was once a school pastor and had the biggest scripture union in Kampala at that time. I used to host men of God, very powerful in business, in the music industry, in politics, and pastors at that time. They spoke to hundreds of young children who used to attend my fellowships at that time. They brought hope to them. They discouraged HIV during that time. And indeed, when I left DKQ school, that was in 2007, I joined Angel Secondary School. At the same time, I started at Bakari Secondary School, because when I went in that new school, the most passionate subject that I loved, that was literature, had not been taught at that Angel High School. So I had to study in another school called Bakari for my literature lessons. It meant that I did the best in literature with my combination Haldi. One of that, in my vacation, I did a number of things, including featuring in movies in this country, including featuring in so many soaps. I started writing poems. I appeared on televisions, on radio. So I started writing articles in the newspapers. And then when I joined the law school, it was like the climax and an introduction to my real dream of my political career. I've done a number of subjects and courses actually that include a diploma in law, an advanced diploma in professional computing and information technology. I've done about 8 certificates, including guidance and counseling, research and data management, and so many much more. One day I remember I was being interviewed by a journalist why I did all of these courses, and I'm still doing quite these courses. It's not that I really want to have a job or work for people, but I'm trying to gather information and knowledge, just prepare myself to be a leader, because I personally believe I'm gonna lead this nation, and I'm gonna be a president of the United States of Africa. I need intellectuals, I need information resources to be able to ascertain each and everything from different angles of life into politics and the economy, in each and every aspect. And in that case, I need a lot of information. And right now, as I speak, I'm trying to warm myself up for being a Lord Mayor of Kampala City, following a declaration by one of the people who has been in opposition, Mayor Elias Lukwago, that he is finished and is trying to find himself being hosted out by the tribunal that has been investigating on his conduct, that has really pinned him over accounts of incompetency, of accounts of 3 other accounts. So he's trying to lose it out. And as I speak now, the councillors who are waiting about in the professional positions and representations who have been missing have been voted in, and the and the Minister of Kampala, Mr. Frank Tumwebaze, who is here to give a report in about 10 days from now, handing it over to the councillors to decide the fate of the Lord Mayor. Why am I emphasizing this? Because this is gonna be very much more important for me as a leader to take over this thing, and I'm gonna be stand in positions whereby I would be able to reclaim this dream so as possible before 2016, where I will have to stick on the mayor of Kampala Central. Why? I kind of many rumors and people who have been trying to say that probably that I do not have certainty in what I want. I don't know what I want. The truth is, I'm trying to maximize every single opportunity of my life into being a leader, into being someone who's more powerful, into being someone who can change the face of our nation in every aspect. Well, today I'm 24 years of age, but what I see is beyond what I can just realize. And I need people who can be in position to stand, just like you have always done in this aspect, to stand with me, so I can be in position to bring change, to bring future, to bring healing for our nation. Uganda has suffered many problems, including tribal wars, including the Lord's resistance army that has been brutally and killing people for the last 20 years in the northern Uganda. We have suffered guerrilla wars, we have had military takeovers, we have had all this kind of thing troubling us. In that sense, we can say that it's much more important that we restructure and see what kind of Uganda we want, what kind of change do we want for our nation, what is it that is going to make us so unique so that we can reclaim the dream of our nation, of our continent to live. But besides, we need the support of the young people like you. We need the support of all kinds of people from all sorts of life, no matter which tribe you're coming from, no matter your level of education, no matter what you are doing, no matter the religion that you subscribe to. But what much more important is to realize that we can never at any single time try to forget our roots and trying to forget what we believe in and what we aspire for or what we want as a nation. Whether we can achieve all this depending on every single angle that we want, and we can bring hope, we can bring total change. Well, I've had also a privilege to work with several other politicians. I remember one time President Kaguta Museveni, I say that he has worked before closely with almost every political party and has seen these leaders. Me, I'm also lucky to have worked with these politicians, including being close to, of course, I've told you, General, of course, I've told you, Honorable John Kendo James, the man. I had a chance to meet Dr. Kizza. They're one of the key people who have been in the political realm of this nation. I had a chance to meet and interact so much closely with Betty Kamia, Honorable, the president of the Federal Alliance, who also stood for president of Uganda. I had a chance to meet Mr. Norbert Mao, who's the current president of the Democratic Party in this country, was once the chairman of Gulu municipality. I've had a chance to meet the likes of mention all these politicians. Honestly speaking, the time that I've spent with them has been very, very much more important in trying to bring out the true essence of what we can be in position to ascertain. So this is my feeling, this is my dream, this is my inspiration. We can change the future of our nation. We can reclaim the dream of our nation. We can exercise the mandate. We can bring healing for the nation in every aspect, in every arena, in every single opportunity. Right now, I want you to partner with me in this very, very aspect. Call me on +2567 0213 75 66. You could also be in position to visit my website at www.ikbenjamin.webs.com. You can also visit my company website at www.havitcheap.webs.com. You can send me an email, Kivumbi@gmail.com. You can at the same time write to me on my box address, P.O. Box at 3977 Kampala, Uganda. Know that we can achieve much more of what we want to get, of what we want to understand as a nation and as people for God and my country.